Hi, I'm Ralph Lawton, and in this series of videos I'm going to show you how we built this simple hall table. Now we're going to saw the tenon. Easiest way to do it is to set the wood in the vise at a slight angle. Doesn't need it to be too much because it's a long shallow tenon this. If it was a taller tenon with a narrower piece of wood, then we'd set it at a much more acute angle, but this is fine for this because we just want to saw down until we're at that sort of position really. We'll do the same on the other side, and then we'll spin the wood round, do the same again to give us a cut that will actually be like that, and then we'll just square it up in the vise and saw straight down so we get down to our line. So let's start with that. It's a bit high in the vise there, which is why it's making that noise. So we'll just bring that down a bit. Keep an eye on your cut. You want to be just outside the scored line because we can pare the tenon down fairly easily to fit the mortise. I'm not going to go too close to the line because when I cut the shoulder, then that will cut into that cut there. So we would now, I would normally carry on and cut the other one, but just for the video, I'll turn this around and show you how we cut the other side. Doing the same thing. It's easier going this time because I've already removed a lot of the material on the other side. And there we are, nearly down to the line again. I'll just whiz that out of the vise and square that up now. We've cut down there and up there, so we've got a bit of material in the middle here to remove. And we'll just work our way down through that fairly quick at the top because it's a point. The next thing we've got to do is I would normally just saw the other side first, but to save watching exactly the same thing again, I'll show you how we cut the shoulders. Right, we're just about to cut the shoulder. Nice steady cut just on the waist side of the line there. Don't go too far into the waist because you'll just give yourself more to trim off afterwards. This is quite a shallow cut, so make sure you don't cut too deeply in there before you start dropping the saw down. A little bit more, and I think we're through there, but I think we may have just undercut it here a bit. We can tell by looking. Yep. And there we are. That's it. That's the first cheek removed. Now all we've got to do, same on the other side, trim off the cosmetic tenons, the cosmetic waist so that we've got our tenons, and we'll have our rails with the tenons all cut. Once we've sawn all the tenons, we just need to clean up to the line, Best way to do that is with a sharp chisel. Use the bench hook as a stop, and you'll find it's much easier to trim across the grain. Much more control than trying to trim in like that. You'll end up, if you do that, you'll end up just running with the grain. You can trim off as far as you need. Once we've trimmed the other side off, we'll then fit this to the mortise, and the way we'll do that is we'll finish off sawing the other side. We'll remove the cheek. This at the moment, I don't know if you can see that, but there's still a little way to go until we're to the gauge line, so that won't fit in the mortise at the moment, and that's the way we want it. We want to be able to trim this down to fit the mortise. And I think that's about it. You don't want to get these absolutely smooth because you want a bit of something for the glue to key onto anyway. They don't want to be too rough, but you don't need to worry about an exterior finish on these. Now I'm just removing a bit of undersaw, which is what that was, and now we've got reasonably flat tenon.